Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about this knife. It is a case model 640045R, and that is Case's camp knife. And so you might be thinking, oh, not another utility knife. But there aren't very many videos on these knives, case knives, to start with. And also I'm going to approach it from a little different perspective of, why I wanted to get this knife. So if you'd like to hear more about that, go ahead and check out the video.
Oh, I did it. Oh, I did it.
You got it?
Yeah. Mama did it fall. Okay, Mommy. I'm going to fall. Okay?
Don't fall.
I fall. Mama, I fall, okay?
You can do it. You got it.
How do you do? How do you do?
You got it.
Hey, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. Bonjour, privet, guten tag, hola, ciao, konnichiwa, and good day, mate, to my foreign viewers. We're going to be talking about this knife here today because it's my show and that's what I want to talk about. Also, I just got this in the mail, and so I ordered this last week, and it is a Case Scout knife or utility knife. So it has the standard 4-blade configuration of a Boy Scout knife, which is the same configuration of a utility knife, which is the same configuration as a camp knife. So all those names are used to talk about these fantastic little knives here. And, why did I get this knife? So you can see there's at least 3 other ones on the table. One of these is a Camillus that dates pre-1940. It's from Stainless Cutlery. Beautiful, beautiful old example of a Scout knife. This is a Boy Scout knife, official Boy Scout knife from Remington, dates to the 1930s. And this is a Boy Scout knife that dates to, let's just say it's pre-1972, and probably dates to the 60s, probably. The configuration is exactly the same on all these knives, pretty much. On these two, the can opener is on the left side, and on the case, it's on the right side of the knife. And that's basically the difference. They're all pretty much the same size. So you can see the Remington's a little bigger. The other ones are, I think, exactly the same size. Yeah, 3 5/8 is the standard. 3 5/8. So why did I need the case? Well, I collect case knives, so I started collecting them. I was in denial for a long time, but after the start of this year, I kind of realized, okay, I'm collecting these things. And so I collected it for the pattern, not because it's a utility knife. By the way, this is not all my utility knives. They just are an example of a Boy Scout knife and just a regular Scout utility knife that I put on the table. I've got other ones too. I didn't need another one, but this pattern right here, look at it. It's a 640045R is the Case utility pattern. Hasn't always had those zeros in it. Early models were just 6445R, and then in the 50s 10 was added, and then after that sometime, I don't know, maybe in the 60s, another zero was added, and they've had the 2 zeros on them since the 60s. So the R, by the way, stands for the bail at the end here. And that makes sense, right? Because it's a bail, so it's an R. I don't know, but that's what it stands for. And usually a zero appears in the name if there was a pattern change. So you put a different blade in it. Now, of course, it's got the new cap lifter in there. For a long time, Case had the old style clamshell blade in it. So maybe that's one of the zeros. But as far as I can see, the knives look the same as the older ones. So I'm really not sure what the other zero is. Here's the punch, which is very sharp. So it's hollow ground in here, hollow ground in the middle, and then you can see how it's beveled down to create an edge, a flat edge there. Kind of small compared to a lot of leather punches. This knife's in pretty good shape. Let me show you. It's a Case XX. What is this? I think that's a 4-dot. 4-dot, which would make it an 1986. In pretty good shape, which is why I got it. These things are expensive, and you don't see a lot of them. So these Case knives, as you out and about looking in different venues for old knives, you don't see those utility knives very much. So you also don't see a lot of videos on these utility knives. I looked before I did this. There were like 5 on the Case specifically. And then, not a lot of videos on utility knives at all. At least that you could pull up in the algorithms on YouTube. But there may be a whole lot more out there. It's just that you can't find them. So I just wanted to do one. I'll do another one on this later. I just got it. And so the main problem with this knife, it was very stiff when I opened it. You can see it's got some splotching here. And good walk and talk on all the blades, but they were really gritty and hard to open at first. So the only thing I did on this knife is I cleaned out the joints, and I'm probably going to keep doing that for a while until I get all that sand out of there. There was some kind of sand in there, so somebody definitely had to use this knife. And it's a nice knife. It's a really good size for a utility knife. It's a little slimmer than most. The blade's a little slimmer than you would find on, say, a Camillus, I think. Let me see this Ulster here. Yeah, you can see the difference there. The Imperials, Camilluses, and Ulsters had a little wider blade on them. This is a pretty good knife too, surprisingly. The Case has better pull and walk and talk on it. This is not one of the start of the bad years for Case. Late 80s through the 90s. Especially the early 90s. I mean, the Case knives were just not really well done. This one, there's no problems on this knife. If you look carefully on the back, it looks like there's some gap in here. There isn't. It's just wear. You can see it down here. just kind of wear on the tang. There's no gap. And one interesting thing about this knife, you look close, you see the double liners there. And also, it's kind of hard to tell, but the side, the blade that works, the back spring that works the screwdriver, cap lifter, or can opener is smaller than the blade on this ulster, whereas the back springs are equal on this case for all blades. And you have this double liner divider here. You see that? See how small the ulster is compared to the case? And that works, actually. So when you look down, this massive divider here, you see the gap created right here, and you see how it's much less in the ulster. And what that provides for is very good clearance on your leather punch right here. And then you still have, or I'm sorry, on the cap lifter, that's really good gap there going down there. Good clearance. You can see doesn't hit here. And then you have adequate clearance with you can see the clearance on the cap lifter there. And you've got good clearance on this ulster too, but it's just not as wide. So probably a lazier way to do it is to put these double dividers on here, but anyhow, it works. And overall, the case knife, it's a tad bit, I mean just a tad. It's almost exactly the same size. I'd say maybe a 30-seconds batter. I don't really know how Case pulls that off, but that's the way it is. It's not a lot fatter than the other one when you put them together. Anyhow, just wanted to show that, and the reason I got this is, I didn't have this pattern number, and so I wanted to get it. I do have the 6345, which is same frame, but it's a cattle knife. And so when you put 4 blades on it, it becomes a utility knife. Of course, there are different blades in the cattle knife too. So the only blade that a cattle knife has in common with this utility knife is the main blade. So every other blade is different on a cattle knife than on the utility knife. Alright, just wanted to show off my new case. Next time you see this, I wanted you to see the natural mirror finish on this. It's a good mirror finish. I don't know whether it's coming up. It's kind of weird, and you can see it right there. Really good mirror finish on this. And I'll clean these up. I'll mirror finish it, but it's not like they're never the way the originals are, and I just wanted you to see that. It's interesting. This is not carbon steel, it's stainless steel, and there you could see some little bit of rust coming through on here. Probably in a high salt environment. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just beginning to start, but I'll clean all that off and get the mirror polish back on the bolsters the way it's supposed to be in the back springs down the road. Alright, that's my case, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching the video.